Hey everybody, welcome to the live. If you guys saw yesterday, we did a live unboxing of the Apple Air Laser filtration system, the Freedom Signature Series, which is our top of the line. We're not going in any particular order. This one's probably third down. So you got the Freedom, then you got the FE1, and then you got the 131. This one here, like I said, I have it with me, so I am going to go ahead and do it now and then next week. So we're basically going to try to run through all the different ones we have and kind of go from there. So just bear with me. I'm trying to share. I want to share this out a couple places, and we'll get to the unboxing. So if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I see Nick's in here. What's going on, Nick? Double squish looking. Anyway. Let's see. Oops. One more place, and we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks for, if anybody's watching, thanks for joining. Again, just getting used to this live stuff on Facebook. It's a lot weirder than using StreamYard or whatever that I normally do. So just bear with me. StreamYard's really nice because you go live and it sends it everywhere. This one you gotta, at least as far as I know, you gotta go in and individually do it. All right. So if you watched the video yesterday, um, you'll notice that these look very similar. The chassis are a little bit different size. Yeah. Camera's working. All right. So, got a couple people watching. Just trying to make sure video is working. Screen really squished. So, hey. All right. So, confirmation video's working. So, anyways, thanks for watching. It's Jason with JR Custom Designs, Apple Air USA. We are the US and Canada distributor for Apple Air. It is a Australian-based company, as I discussed in previous videos. I'll probably repeat myself because I don't know who's watching what, but you hear me repeating it, it's going to happen, so get over it. But what we have today is we have another unit, which is our F131, which is probably our third in line as far as what they can do and price as well. So with this unit here, the one you saw in the other video most likely was the Freedom 1000 or Freedom 1000 or the Freedom Signature Series that we call it here in the US. And with that, they have the FE1, which is the step down from that, which is another one that can also be vented back into a room. It's not as good to vent back in the room, but you can still vent back in the room with it. Sorry, just get the light out of the way. You can still vent back in the room with it. It's the Freedom Signature Series was specifically made to vent back in the room safely. This one here, it is recommended to vent it outside as well. If you're just doing engraving like cups, things like that, where you're not putting a lot of smoke and vapor out into the environment, this is probably okay to vent back inside under those circumstances. But when you start cutting wood and leather and things like that, you're definitely going to want to vent it outside. Uh, so with all these machines, they come wrapped and packaged just the way you see them here. They're labeled more for us so we know what they are, because when they come to us, they're already from the factory and certified from the company Apple Air in Australia. So on this plastic, you'll also see a silver sticker. This one's on the side over here. This is your serial number and all that stuff. It matches or should match the number on the back of the machine. That's for your warranty and everything else that's covered with the purchase of this machine. Which all these machines, as a whole, have a 2-year warranty on them. Some parts in here have different lengths, 3 to 5, depending on what the components are. Some of them actually have a longer warranty to them. But the machine as a whole, the cabinet, hinges, locks, I mean, things like that, that's all covered 2-year warranty from basic use and everything. So obviously, neglect, abuse, or whatnot is not covered as was the standard in the warranty, essentially. So we'll go ahead and start unboxing this. I don't see, some people had mentioned something, but I don't see their comments here anymore. So, not sure. Oh, there they are. You're living to watch me strip this box slowly. If you want the product. Well, if breathing better is what you want to do, then this is the product for you. And I know you living in Arizona, me living in Florida, and yours is a little bit different. You're just pure heat. We have humidity here, which these machines, especially the ones that can vent back in the room, which is the FB1 and the Signature Series, those were made specifically to help combat air exchange. Even in the winter up north, same thing. When you're trying to heat a space and you're constantly bringing in cold air because you're pumping it outside, that's what these machines are for, as well as the health aspect of it. There's a lot of filters that are on the market work fairly well, but for the price, you're not getting the kind of technology and health benefits out of it that you will with these here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start stripping this down, and we'll go ahead and take the thing off first here, or down to the bottom. So as you'll see, as we unbox this, the inside and outside is very well packed and sealed. So if it does get a little wet, you don't really have to worry about it. Good. About that. So as I was saying before, this here is your serial number sticker decal. It's on the outside of the box as well as on the inside on the machine itself. Make sure those match. Owner's manuals, we're working right now to finish getting those put up online. Those have a spot you can put your serial number. You can also tape that to it. That way you have it if you need it for any kind of warranty repairs or service or anything like that. We got covered. All right. Go ahead and peel back the plastic. All right. I would recommend also if you have a place to store these boxes are very collapsible. They break down, take up next to no room. I would request or suggest that you keep the box just in case something has to be done or it has to be shipped back to us for any reason, or you need to transport it or whatever. This is the safest way to do it. It's as simple as lifting off the top of the box, sides that are interlocking. Well, go away. The other thing too is just to look, if you can see down here, these are actually strapped and bolted to the pallet. So if you have them in the shop or whatever, you could technically leave them on a pallet and just put it wherever you need it and not have to worry about it. They also got wheels and everything too, so you can move it around if you need to. So that's not really a big deal, but just an idea. Because for us, we'll probably leave them on pallets because the ones we're doing unboxing with are the same ones that are going to be at trade shows and things like that you'll see on the floor. So just makes it easier to stack them and ship them this way. So and again, as you can see inside, they're well protected with plastic. Yeah, Nick. I mean, like I said, the Freedom Signature Series was actually that was solely developed for me for the U.S. and Canada market. It's very useful over in Australia. Come to find out, it's probably one of their best sellers, just because of what it can do, and it was specifically, like I said, made for those reasons. First off, being able to vent back in the room 100% safely. Two, you're not doing the air exchange and things like that in the hot weather, cold, humid, all that stuff. So you're keeping the air in your room that you're conditioning. Otherwise, you're wasting it, just sucking it outside. So those were the main reasons for developing this particular unit. The FE1 was their regular unit that we built the Signature Series off of, which the FE1 we'll get to probably Monday. I'm going to do this one, and then later today, before we leave work, I'll probably do an unboxing of an F40D as well. So that may come out later today. If not, it'll probably come out sometime next week. We're going to go through, unbox all these, show you what you get, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go through and do a review of each one of them and kind of break down each one of them a little more detail, because these are just kind of quick overviews of what you get in the box. So anyways, so come back to here. It's open. So these are actually wrapped in plastic, also wrapped internally with some 1/4-inch or 1/8-inch foam padding. I mean, your chances of you get in bad condition, unless somebody gets run into force. Knock on wood, that don't happen. Unless somebody runs through it with forks, I mean, you're not going to have anything. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm doing a quick unboxing overview of this. Some laser videos, but have to answer anything I can. These are new to the U.S. We just got our first shipment in 2 days ago, finally. Some people that pre-ordered have stuff ready on the way. For those that did pre-order, and anything else with shipping in 2 to 4 days. We're still getting used to the freight shipping, because all these are freighted out, except for the F40D that usually will come UPS. But the base units are going freighted out with liftgate service automatically. So when you pay for shipping, you're getting liftgate automatically with it. So you shouldn't have to worry about that, no matter what your business is or where you're and that's around. What happened? You got the front of the machine facing backwards. Oh, okay, that's backwards. The back of your machine, you'll see right here is your serial number sticker. It's got the barcode on there to take you to the website, a QR code. It's got the serial number and then the size and wattage of the motor. It's got our phone number on it, which is my phone number. like everything that we do. My phone number's on everything, so if you talk to anybody, it's going to be me. So just know that's on there. That matches the decal that's on the back, but you can verify it with the one you took off. So this one here does match. We're good to go. Again, put that in the manual, stick it to it, stick to it. That way you have it. All right. And if you guys haven't seen, this isn't plugged, and it's not sponsored in any way, but you guys get one of these mini pallet jacks. I think it's from Amazon or something. These things are freaking amazing, especially in small spaces. That fold up and they weigh next to nothing. So, anyways, back to the. So again, just all this off and go ahead and review on the You're watching the U.S. Canada. It would be the point of contact for that. If not, the owner of it down in Australia, watching down there, be your point of contact for the units down there. So you watched the thing yesterday. We had a key to open the lock and everything on the door. This one here don't. It's just got the latches. You do your latches. This is going to look different, obviously, than the other one. There's less filters in it, but one thing that's consistent with them is that they all have, except for the F40D, they all have E-stat filter in them, and they all have the pre-filters that are in the back here, which I can show you a little bit here in a second. So it's got 2 filters in it. The other one has 3. Has E-stat, has your straight carbon, and then in the back. It's all comes with your hoses. You got your exit hose, which is 8-inch. You got your one inlet hose that is 6-inch. Comes with it. You've got your spigot mounts. You got a 6-inch, then you got an 8-inch. So one for each cord. And then of course, you got power cord. So the other good thing about these, one is the E-stat, it's 100% washable. So with this machine here, really the only cost you're going to have is your charcoal, your activated charcoal tray, which is in here. You just take it out, dump it out, put new stuff in, slide the tray back. So, other thing, these have sound deadening. You can kind of see it here. It's all inside to help with the noise and whatnot. They don't put out a whole lot. Once I do the review, I'm actually going to, I got a decibel meter, and I'm going to actually be doing decibel readings off of it once it's done, or once we get everything undone. The other thing about this one here is, like all these machines, they have 5 UV lights inside of them that helps with odors and things like that, bacteria that might be in your materials that you're cutting or engraving, as well as ion switches, which is ozone. That also helps to purify the air and safer. Here, the brains of everything, power supply, relays, and circuit breakers, and your control board back here. So pretty simple setup in here. Nothing special to mess with or worry about. These systems are really easy. If something goes bad in them, it's really easy just to swap out the components. And the hardest part, I guess, if the motor went out, that would be the hardest part to swap out, just because of where it's at underneath. And you got to take out the power supply or transformer that's in it, because these are wound for 220. So technically, if you wanted to run it on 220, you would just bypass the inverter or the transformer, and you could run it on 220. But the way these are set up now, they have an inverter in there to switch it to 220. So on your display screen, you're going to see voltage 220. That's because it's getting 220 volts from the power supply or the transformer, not your actual wall. That would be 110 going into that. Are you able to speak to the power consumption? All right, so I did a test yesterday with the Freedom Signature Series. I did a test on it running at full power. It was pulling 15.5 amps. That's running every single UV lamp, ion lamp, the motor, and the E-step plate. So it was pulling 15, it's like 15.48 amps, so like 15.5. So it would be best to have this on a dedicated 20 if you're going to be running everything. But if you turn off the ion filters, which I wouldn't say it's not needed, but it's an as needed basis. If you turn them off, you're running like 14.2, so you're well within the 15 amps that it would draw on a 15 amp outlet. But if you start using the ion lamps, you might need to cut down on like 2 UV lamps to turn the ion lamps on. So that you have to have a trade-off if you put it on a 15 amp circuit. I think it's 16, like 14 or 1600 watts is what it's drawing. I have it on a meter. I got a meter here that I use to do the reading, kind of like what Nick had at the APA show. Thanks for telling me about that. And when I do a review of all of them, it's all going to have that in it. I'm going to have decibel levels. I'm going to have a current draw. Trying to get a flow meter to get the flow, an accurate flow out of it. But all the flows are rated, and the ratings are on our website, so you can kind of check that out. So if you're running it on the same circuit, I would definitely run it on a 20 amp. Especially if it's a smaller laser, like fibers and things like that, you could run this and those on that same circuit. And that would be another good thing for this machine here. If you have a lot of fiber lasers or galvo lasers, this would be perfect for it. And you could vent back in the room fairly safely. Unless, like I said, you're doing leathers and acrylic and things like that. If you're doing that stuff, then you're not going to do that. But if you're just doing cups and engraving metal and things like that, this would suffice as a good unit inside. And plus, with the draw on it and everything, you could probably handle 4 galvo lasers at one time with this, not have any issues. So but for a home-based shop, I would always recommend first and foremost the Signature. Not because it's the most expensive, because I don't care about the money so much. That is the safest one to vent back inside, like 100%. It captures up to 99.898% efficient, which means it captures everything down to about a 0.01 micron, which is less than virus level with the UV lamps and stuff. I mean, that's where that comes in, is helping break down that type of stuff that you may run into with different materials. So we get materials from all over the place. You don't know what's in them. You don't know what kind of chemicals are in them. You don't know what kind of microbiology has been in them. You don't know any of that stuff. And with the UV lamps, that basically kills all the germs and stuff for the most part that come through it, which makes it a lot safer. Because these machines are the only ones that have the ESP technology in them, at least they are aware of. So everybody else just uses paper filters, pleated filters, carbon filters, things like that. They clog up a lot. The pre-filters in the back, they're washable. The ESTAT filter and here is washable. And like I said, the only real run cost or filter cost that you have is the charcoal filter in the bottom here. So that's really the only cost that you have was running this. And depending on how much you run it, I mean, you could probably be maybe $200 a year to run this. The only thing that is recommended is you get an extra pair of filter socks to put in there. So if you're washing one set, you can put another set in there. They're fairly inexpensive. I don't know the price off the top of my head. It's on the website, appleusa.com. But it's good to have an extra set. That way, when you're washing one, you can put the other ones in and still use your machine. If you're doing a lot of heavy use, which you probably wouldn't do with this machine, potentially, an extra ESTAT unit would be good. Same reason. If you're washing one, you can use one. But if you can go a day, maybe 2 days without running your machine, like on a weekend or whatever, then you're fine, because it takes as long as it takes to wash this, but you got to dry it off too. Little air dryers or leaf blowers or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, they come as you see it straight out of the box. They've already been QC'd from the from Apple Air in Australia. They get these first, and then they run through the quality check. We're sending me that way. As soon as they get to me, we can send them to you. So, if you're interested in any of these or have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Pretty easy to get a hold of. And of course, numbers on the website. So Nick, acrylic has some of the most toxic chemicals ever, which agrees with people engrave and cut more, or engrave and cut it more than anything. Yes, and again, that's why the Freedom Signature Series has, I think it's 28 filters in it. And like I said, you go back through the video, you'll see all of it. Got the pre-filters, the filters, the pre-filters, ESTAT filters. Got 5 carbon trays, 1 HEPA 13 tray, and then in the back, at the exit, it's got another HEPA 13, and then it's got paper filter elements, and it's got a honeycomb, another charcoal honeycomb filter that it goes through. So, I mean, there's a lot of things in here that help keep all that stuff to a minimum, and that's what, again, that one was designed for, is to cut acrylic MDF safely. We have a video on our Facebook page. If you want to check that out, it actually demonstrates what the room air quality was, and a place that is venting inside with a Freedom Signature. They're actually venting back inside while cutting MDF, and you can see in the video that the numbers go from like 400 and something parts per million down to nearly 0 in the room. So not only is it scrubbing the room air, but it's also filtering the air coming off the MDF from the machine. So that one, like I said, is really good. The only thing you need to do for that is every 3-4 months you need to change the HEPA filters, which there's only 2 of them. Everything else has like a 6 months to a year life expectancy as far as the filters go. But again, that's dependent on use. If you don't use it a whole lot for heavy stuff like that, then they can last you, however long they last. But on regular heavy use or moderate use, you want to change them just to be safe, to maintain that particulate count that it's rated at or rated for. So I hope that answers the question with the acrylic and stuff, because yes, it is very toxic. It stinks, and hardly any air filters will get rid of that smell, but ours will. So that's another benefit to ours. And as you kind of go down in the ranks, that smell becomes more apparent. But the main thing is catching the particulate and stuff like that comes along with it. So I won't hold you guys up anymore. I don't even know how long it's been going on, but this is the unboxing of the F131, which is our pretty much the middle of the road version. And the step down for this will be the FML, and then the F40D, which, like I said, we'll probably get into a little bit later. So stay tuned for that. We go live again. Check out the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer them. But other than that, we'll see you in the next video, and see ya.